Looks like trouble.
Lava. I cannot whack him any harder.
Hey, whose side are you on?
Ha
I'll take this.
When I was a little boy, oh, my mother told me.
Careful. I see them.
That dog won't hunt. Easy on us.
tactics. Complicated. Hey,
We're dropping like flies. I'm good as stuck. That dog won't. Another winner's on the vine.
There's some that's bound for Han Sensei, and some that's bound for Mans. Free master, thin like a bird. Heave-ho, his Fiorente. Oh, Captain Parfitos never said a hard word as we sail all the troubles away. Hold fast to the helm, hold fast to the wind. Heave-ho, his Fiorente. Congress grace our long east skin as we sail down the dead fire way. We've gone a long way, left our loves behind. Heave-ho!
No! Fall back. Indeed. Onward!
Can't get a clean head.
Yes?
Mo, Ixie, oh!
shall.
Got someone in my sights.
Was on a cold and stormy night. The snow was on the ground.
Won't show 'em the...
Can't make a dent.
Can't take much more.
Ixie honor.
We were friends.
A feeling. Ixiana. A feeling.
Lava, beyond seek.
I found my spine on the dead fire lines. Tell me way, hey, who? How dead fire roots, they make good time. Tell me way, hey, hooroo, ya. With the clear white streets and inlets fine. Hurrah for the dead fire lines. Oh, they're the lines where you can shine. Tell me way, hey, hooroo, ya. Oh, they're the lines where I spent.
I take it the Hazanui runs a tight ship. Do you ever disagree with orders?
Naturally. And I bark about it until the boss
Send
tells me
me
to
for a
stand
buttered
down.
slice of hard sack. It's you, ain't it? Angry by the thumbs. At your service, he says. I'll keep it quick, see? If your little dinghy has got some chase in it, I've got a list of captains with a black mark to their name whose ships need a quick scuttling. And I'm in the market for a scuttler. You read me like a book, you do. Then let's talk business, eh? You'll be looking to scuttle Cornu first, one of Rowatai's finest, eh? I don't ask my client what he did or what scale his death balance is. Safer to keep questions in the hold. Hope that don't make you skittish, none. Loyalties being what they is.
I'll measure where my loyalties lie, thank you. If our target is worth his salt, he'll send us down to Andra's realm anyway.
Mark me. But the bird lass thinks she's true-born principe, she does. Of course you will. Knows a good opportunity when you sees it. Cornu helms a Voyager early muster in the waters north of Nekataka and south of Sayuka. Avon?
Green Menace? That
Your
I did.
Italians aren't much for passive.
Ain't no cruel eye of me. What good's a pirate who can't see? Forget navigating by the stars or shooting a pistol. I can't even swing a sword accurately now. Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you? Is this what my life boils down to? A moment of entertainment for others? I was a bosun not so long ago, and a damn good one at that. But I took a shot to the face, see? Didn't lose much skin, but the flash burned out me eyesight. I can't make out so much as a blurry shape more than a foot away. Makes me right useless on a crew now, don't it? No one'll have me for work. Is this what my life I was up? Didn't lose much skin. Andra's blessings to you for shit.
Fair day, traveler. Anything I can do for you, just say the word. Travel quick, travel quiet.
I'll handle this.
Kill 'em, wait an hour, then pull any gold teeth. Easy as pie.
You're an idiot. Wait a minute, wait an hour. Alive, dead, it makes no difference at all.
I've pulled plenty of gold teeth. I know the right way of it.
Maybe I'll pull your teeth just to prove you wrong.
What do you know? It really does make no difference. You, out.
Is that how everyone handles disagreements around?
If you're enjoying my performance, tips are welcome but not required. Thank you, loyal patron. I work for a handful of pyres per day. How could I find enjoyment in that? I was playing dice and gambled on a sure thing. It turned out not to be such a sure thing, and now Harker owns my arse until I can pay off the debt. Of course, I started off owing him 250, and even though I've paid that twice, now I'm in the hole for 700. The interest rate, this uniform, my food and drinks, they all got added onto my tab at the end of the day. Oh, thank you, patron. I'll be debt-free in no time.
Hello. May I help you? Need anything? I'm not sure what there is to tell. I'm a man of adventure, mostly. A few. More than I could share in a night, to be sure. There is one that's close to my heart. It led me to my love. I was on an expedition into the backwoods of Rhaed Seras when I came across an abandoned town. To my great surprise, I found a tremendous hoard of books in the town priest's cottage. The Rhaed Serans are conservative folk, more so even than the Adirans. They don't have much use for reading that doesn't come from one of the holy texts of the Church of Aethys. And what a selection of books it was. Every subject represented, even some questionable ones. I couldn't help but help myself to them. I took as many as I could carry, and I can carry quite a bit. Read them all cover to cover and learned a lot too. I tired soon of wandering, so I settled in a small town in the Deerwood and became a tutor for a noble family. Fell in love with the governess, naturally, and I stayed. For a while. I felt a stirring in my bones one day. I can't explain it. I just woke up, caught sight of the horizon, and had to go. I left my lady wife right there in our marital bed. I don't know what's waiting for me out here in the Deadfire, but I have hope this will be my biggest adventure yet. Well, you listened to my long tale. I suppose you are owed a trick or two. For the low price of 3,000 copper. Much obliged.
Haven't seen you around before. Welcome to the King's Coffin. What can I do for you? Figured that out all on your own, did you? You're right, though. Inherited an old dhow from my da when he passed. Right piece of shit it was, too. Realised I was bound to make more coin turning her into a tavern than letting her rot in her berth. What do you want? So long as you show me some coin.
Andrus Crushing Void, unstopped.
Lost my God's damn soul and stupidity. Oh. My ship was attacked and boarded by pirate hunters. Didn't know if we'd be able to get away, so I swallowed down my most valuable possession, Gutty's Black Tear, gemstone, about the size of my fist. Of course, now it ain't coming out of either end. Been trying all manner of foul concoctions to no effect on account of my stomach being too strong. Years of sailing the storm-wracked seas will do that to you. Started feeling an intense pain 2 days ago. I think I might be dying. I can't even crawl no more. Make me puke. Whatever you gotta do, just make it happen before this cursed gem kills me. Give me something strong enough to upset even my iron gut. Rosanella's got a stand in the Radiant Court. She's been supplying me with some, experimental concoctions, tweaking them after. Tell her the last one actually came close to working.
My, aren't you a handsome one? Did you need help with something, my dear? Isn't it obvious? I entertain, of course. It'll cost you 50 pyres, naturally. And don't let the wrinkles fool you. I'm still young at heart, and I've got more experience than most.
You half-masted sot. She's got to be 90 years old.
Fresh fruit, vegetables, dried goods for long voyages. I got it all right here. What can I stock you up with today?
Did you hear? The Gilded Kestrel was lost at sea.
From
So you're
Goldfleet's
the
fleet?
captain the old Corp's been talking about. Aye, you do look like a fearsome sort. Welcome to Dunwich. What are you having? I'll pour you a double. No one survives the floating hangman, or so they say. It's the ship of the dead. You spy it on the horizon, you flee as fast as you can. Ah, I guess the last concoction I made for him didn't do the trick then. Poor bastard. There's one last tincture recipe I know that won't kill him, probably. It's called Andra's Bile, but I don't have all the ingredients in stock. You'll need a rotten hagfish, an unripened palm stone, and a vial of fire kelp extract. Have him mix it all with a half tankard of grog, and well, hope for the best. The goal is to make him vomit, remember? A rotting hagfish produces a special oil once it reaches a certain level of decay. I did tell you the list of ingredients, eh?
He'll have stuff dribbling out of both ends for a week. Maybe 2 if he's really unlucky. Check the barrels around Lifter's Refuse for the rotten hagfish. You might be able to find unripened palmstone for sale somewhere in Radiant Court. Harker in the King's Coffin usually keeps some fire kelp extract on hand for special purposes.
There goes the
Looking
drinking
for
who
it.
murdered
I've got
Benedict.
coin and
got
a few
cleaner than I
scores.
expected.
bones.
You carry yourself like a person well acquainted with violence. Care to put your skills to use for a good cause? And some It's simple enough. The firebrand commanded by Captain Henqua once plagued the Deadfire. The skill and brutality of Henqua's crew was the stuff of legends. But pirate legends don't live long. Some months ago, an alliance of Neketaka pirate hunters managed to corner the firebrand and sink her off the coast of Tikawara. They confirmed Captain Henqua's death, but her senior crew members escaped unscathed. And now it seems like bringing the firebrand's crew to justice doesn't matter to anyone but me. So I want you to kill them. And I'll pay you out of my own pocket if you do. The firebrand had a mascot, a useless little bastard, who's taken to calling himself Lord Admiral Imp. He's not terribly dangerous on his own, but he's keen to make a nuisance of himself wherever he goes. Last I heard, Lord Admiral Imp was making himself comfortable in Queen's Berth. You'll find him there with a few Zarops and constructs, the little buggers convinced to follow him. Bless their simple hearts. You'll be taking down Lady Ipiro, Captain Henqua's former first mate and rumored lover. She's a cipher, and a dangerous one at that. Ipiro maintains an estate in Serpent's Crown in Neketaka. But I wouldn't recommend you rush in muzzles blasting and swords held high. She keeps a number of bodyguards on her payroll. You'll be going after Katren, the firebrand's resident wizard. Rumor has it, she was once an apprentice to Arkemir before turning pirate. Last I heard, Katren and her sundry little minions could be found lazing about the sacred stair here in Neketaka at night. No idea where she disappears off to during the day. I have a challenge for you, my friend. And his name is Torkar, leader of the Firebrand's boarding parties. He's an ogre, with a reputation for cleverness and cruelty both. I've even heard tell it was Torkar who was behind the Firebrand's most successful tactics, not Henqua. Torkar was last seen at Lifter's Refuge here in Dunwich, dead set on joining a crew, or assembling his own. I trust you won't let that happen. Happy hunting.
Welcome to my emporium. Whatever you need, I sell. What would you like to buy today?
My good sir, hello. Whatever might I do for you? I'm certain there's no need to tell you, observant as you no doubt are, that I am an actor. Stage, tavern, street corner, they are as much my home as where I lay my head at night. So, I travel Aora, looking for opportunities to share my gifts with the grateful masses, wherever that may lead me. Oh, goodness, yes, loads of it. I've been known to joke that I'm less a man than I am a walking bank for all the coin that I carry. The common folk do so love an actor. We bring mystery and excitement to their otherwise dreary lives. Yes, you could say we're doing the God's work. How dare you? But you're not wrong, to my great chagrin. Times have been tough of late, what with the giant statues smashing up the place, and few in the Deadfire have coin to spare besides. It's quite difficult, you know, living as I do. On occasion, foolish folk will take my act for reality. I've thrice been run out of a town for impersonating a foreign dignitary. Damned fools don't understand the blistering wit of my satire, I tell you. I had to learn to protect myself as a result, though I must admit, what martial skills I've got aren't of use for much more than fighting off wolves or throttling a thief with designs on my satchel. Thank the gods, I hardly ever need to use them. I could talk myself out of nearly anything, you know. Well, thank you. I must say it's gratifying to be recognized for one's talents. All things being equal, I'd much rather recite a sonnet than swing an axe, but a man's got to make his way in the world any way he can. I would be honored, but a man needs to make a living, you know. So, for my services, how about 3,000 copper? Fantastic! Let's get to it then.
My old captain was a drink from the day. to the day he died. All he was rail thin. He wound up with a wooden leg. Welcome to the treasure trove, sailor. Anything in my trove catches your eye, you let me know. All right.
Gills. There's no... That was a disaster of epic proportions if ever I directed one. A typhoon couldn't have cleared out our audience faster. What's wrong? I'll tell you what, everything. My troupe's coming apart at the seams. We're short on cash, we're low on people, and we've run plumb dry on enthusiasm. We haven't drawn a decent crowd in more than a fortnight. And it ain't like pirates are hard to please. That's how you know the show really stinks. But I think I know what the problem is. We've got a lack of flair. If only I could hire more talented performers. I just know my play would take off. A better Aethys, for one. I'm the tallest one in our troupe. I'm still not very convincing, even when I bother to dye my skin blue. Also, our special stage effects aren't all that special anymore. We had someone for that role, but she got herself into debt and has a new job at the King's Coffin. Really? Well, that's great. Then we could... Wait a tick. Why would you help me? What do you get out of this? Right. Beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. I'm in desperate need of 2 more performers. A wizard for one, plus any oaf big enough to pose as Aethys. I happen to know a wizard of the finest skill set who already performs here in Dunwich, Diana, at the King's Coffin. But unfortunately, I got no idea of where we might find a suitable Aethys. Get me the right people for the parts, and I promise you'll be pleased with your investment. I'll turn us a profit or die trying.
A repeat customer. What can I stop? Of course I do. Tell you what, though. Good day. Anything I can do for you, just say the word. Lady Adventurer at your humble service. I was born in a deer and raised in the field, and there's nary a crevice of this archipelago I haven't seen. The living lands most off, but the dead fire as well of late. And my goodness, if you think the dead fire's wild, I must say, it's no more thrilling than a Lady of Luxury's afternoon luncheon in comparison to the glorious madness of the living lands. Being a cipher's come in quite handy, I'll tell you that. Oh, dear me, yes. Can't seem to avoid it. Not a lick of it's my fault, of course. It's the university. Always sending me to the most dangerous corners of Eora, the skimps. If I didn't know better, I might say they were trying to kill me. There's not other way to rid themselves of a tenured professor, after all. Oh, aye. Some you wouldn't right believe. Like the time I lost part of my ear here, see? Lost an entire research team along with the ear. Rather a long day, that was. My colleagues have implied I might be cursed, but I can't say I much agree. It's just the nature of the work, you understand. I mean, goodness, if you want a lady to find you the rarest plants, you gotta send her to the most remote places. On my last expedition, my colleague Inez got herself lost looking for what was essentially a big prickly weed. No medicinal use at all. I found her, though, mostly intact even. A blessing from the living lands, I call it, aye. But I do go on, don't I? With pleasure. Teaching is my specialty, after all. I'm gonna pack your brain with so much knowledge, you're gonna have a headache for a week. All I need from you is 3,000 copper. Excellent. Let's get down to business, shall we?
Eccosi, traveler. Care to hear a tale? Well, I was born to a family of merchants on the Pearl Coast. I was a restless boy, and my feet took me to the Valen Republics when I came of age. I learned of the power of geography and language at my father's knee, and those skills proved useful in the Republics. I had many successful years as a merchant, and then I made a mistake. I joined up with a company based in Girara that traded in beautiful weavings, but they were ill-gotten gains, forcibly produced by a weaver the company kidnapped named Bonicetta. I didn't learn the truth until it was too late, and when our crime was uncovered, I was exiled from the Republics. Indeed, but I should have asked better questions of my employers. And now I'm here, kicking my heels in the Deadfire, where no one knows my name and with few prospects before me. I would like to make amends to Bonicetta personally, but it seems a distant possibility. Ark, you listened to my tale. I suppose I can do that for you for 3,000 copper? Well done. You nearly forgot something. What can I do for you? Sure do. And at a generously discounted price too. 250 pies. Be careful you don't get any of it in your eyes. Burns like a mother. Oh, burns like you wouldn't believe. Wouldn't wish that sting on anybody. Not even my worst enemy. Actually, yeah, I would.
Damn my God! Just kill me now! Blast my God's damn soul in stupidity! Andre, save me now! Oh! Oh, God! He's coming out the other end now! Oh, now, if If you'll excuse me, I need a change of bottoms.
Welcome back, patron. I so hope you enjoy the performance. I'd be happy to go back working for her, except I owe Harker over there a good deal of money. Stupid dice went cold at the wrong time. Until I pay him what I owe, 700 pyres, I'm not going anywhere. Don't give it to me, give it to Harker. Knowing him, he'll tack on a few extra expenses just to spite me. I can't fathom why you're doing this, but I thank you all the same.
What can I do for you? Got to you, did she? The woman can spot a soft-hearted mark from 50 paces. Like a sixth sense or something. Remarkable. Here's the thing, though. It's more profitable for me to keep her under my thumb, so, sweet as your offer is, you can keep your money. Unless there's something else you need, I think we're done here. That's a shrewd observation. Maybe you're not so easy a mark after all. Tierna's free to go.
Endless thanks for taking care of my debt. See you at the play.
Ah, Watcher. Good. You have arrived.
I know that, Dimple. Had you in my sights once, but you've been down to lace your boot. It's the ones who get away that hurt the most.
A coincidence, surely. A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benoit. Gelarde, for this you have my grandest commendation. No, as my memory serves me, you did not. And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize. However, there is another matter of which we must now speak. I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen, one which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire. It would seem I have undervalued you, Watcher. I will not mince words, as you undoubtedly know what we are up against. This galleon, what likely remains of the Fonferros, is a frightful legend. We have been losing ships at sea, amico, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say. Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic blood. Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. It might have pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can. Go on, gent. I'm ready as I'm like to get me. You aren't quite what I expected, Watcher. You're kinder than most. Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even a few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end. It branded the back of my eyes that moment. High seas, Nothing but blue all around. Then, mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within. Out of nowhere was a hunt, not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding, couldn't kill them, couldn't even fight them in the end. Me and my crew were adept, alert, always. No, weren't no one gonna get the jump on us. Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it. They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the Von Ferrus of Old Valia. It belonged to a Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan. But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. Let us instead ask her of a subject she may know.
Dunno me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out of drink.
One of mine found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor girl was scarcely able to speak.
Well, I'm more than able to gavel now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
Calling me Craven? Huh, sure, I am. Took a knock-in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Ganasco, our steward. I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care, me.
She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time. One moment, Watcher. How very clever of you. Indeed, the White Kestrel and her crew were pledged to Aldis. However, it is not by virtue of Aldis that Selenia yet lives, and I would have that well remembered. I can be a generous leader, you understand. Truly. Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Rivan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Darkotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Rivan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon. Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka. One Isir the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume. Meaning what by that last? You were able to read his soul, despite how much time has passed? God save us from fools who battle with blind trust. A death guard? How fascinating. And terrible. I must, of course, presume that you've unearthed a promising lead for us. Perhaps you were able to learn about Rivan's whereabouts, of where her spectral ship oft anchors. Selenia is not a captive. The matter is not whether she will go free, but when. If you insist it must be sooner, then so be it. I can summon to mind no island with such name. Likely it hides now behind another. I will charge my best chroniclers to track our isle through the centuries. I believe you're becoming an invaluable asset to the Principe, and I deeply value each of my assets. Keep an ear to the sea, amico. I will contact you when I have made a significant gain into the investigation of our mysterious floating hangman.
Much ado to you, Casita. A word of advice. Guard your back in dunnage. You have not yet carved a name for yourself or your crew. Yet you choose to swim in a sea of sharks. Should one take a bite, the Consuelo will not intervene. Elsewise, how might I be of assistance? The Consuelo will need to vote on it. But with your reputation, and if you vanquished Benwith, as appears to be the case, I do believe you are the most qualified to take his place, Huck. I will speak with Ferrante so that he may consider the matter further. You have my ear, Casita. Of what do you wish to discuss today? Yes, our Council of Captains. There are 7 seats on the Consuelo, each occupied by a high-ranking captain within the Principe. Seat holders convene to vote on a variety of issues concerning the Principe's well-being. To claim a seat, a captain must have substantial backing and sufficient power, both politically and physically. Ferrante, the last Marcheso, holds the highest-ranking seat because the most ships in our entire fleet have pledged loyalty to his flag. As you can guess, the Sea Wolf, Aldis, commands the second most numerous fleet of ships. As such, she is the second chair, and I am the third. Perhaps you would like to attend the proceedings when the Consuelo next convenes. You may have noticed a divide between old blood and the new, by which I mean those who descended from or otherwise hold Old Valia in grand esteem, and the varied and often uncouth recruits we have since brought into the fold. I assure you the latter was supremely by necessity, though perhaps I am ill-equipped to throw stones. As a Casita of some repute, you will be most welcome in the King's coffin, but you should watch yourself throughout the Radiant Court.
What's this?
How may I help?
You were saying?
Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you? What? I'm no actor. And besides, I can't barely see nothing as it is. You really think so? Maybe I do have a mug made for the stage. I sure got the voice for it, eh? Turn me in the right direction, and I'll make me way to the Radiant Court.
Well, well, if it isn't Arca's new business partner, that's quite a lot of coin you two exchanged. Dead? The Red King? No, wait a tick. This is another one of his ploys, ain't it? Aye, that it must be. And I don't like being deceived. Think I'll send him your head, as a reminder to stick to selling grog and flea-infested beds.
You're giving Ishi a weird look. What did he do?
I'm not giving him a weird look. He's giving me a weird look.
Thanks muchly for bringing Taerna back to us. Her storm and weather spells will really strike an atmosphere for the play. And now that we've got a real big brute for Aethys, we can put on a proper play. Stick around for the performance. I think you'll be plenty pleased. Ladies and gentle pirates, and rapscallions too, you are in for the truest of mental treats. Without further ado, I present the Green Menace. Let us begin with our valiant new blood crews, the Lusty Rudder and Fortune's Folly. Two ships adrift at sea for weeks and weeks on a venture most daring, in search of the uncharted islands.
Woe and torture. Months at sea with no treasure to show for it. You sure these uncharted islands exist, Captain? We ain't seen land for days.
Were they easy to find, they'd be called the Chartered Islands, wouldn't they? If you're thinking to mutiny...
Land ho! Land ho! Got a lumpy-looking island coming on the horizon.
That's no island. That be the Green Menace. We're doomed for sure.
Souls and gold and glory, you will give these to me. For I am a god among gods, and a true menace upon the seas. Souls and gold and glory. Blame the Dawn Stars, for they have summoned me. And now, I must feed.
'Twill be the end for us, it will. Oh, Andra, take me now.
And that's the story of how Aethys sank a fleet
of our best tars. Like the floating hangman, you see the green menace coming, you sail the other way. Thank you. Donations and gratuity are greatly appreciated.
Was
They
that
love
supposed
us,
to be a
do you see?
comedy?
They gods damned loved us thanks to you.
After spending so much time with Connor, I'm surprised. You're nothing like him.
Guess poetry just done me.
Well, you could certainly do worse when it comes to family.
Artillery trajectory calculations. Terribly tedious and lamentably imprecise in a storm. Ah, but the numbers distract me. Where are my manners? You found me with a rare spare moment. Did you not read the name on the door before you came in? You do know you're in the office of the Fleet Master, I hope. Ah, you meant to ask why I'm important enough to have my name on a door. I'm a Fleet Master of the Rawatayan Navy stationed at Sayuka, a research colony of the Royal Deadfire Company. Andra's mortar. Storms that strong, that consistent. I suspect they're not natural. You misunderstand. I don't command ships. I command this port. Rawatayan vessels docking here are under my protection, but I don't tell them where to go. That's the Hazanui's job. To one unfamiliar with the Rawatayan Navy, perhaps. But mine is an administrative position. I see to the smooth running of Sayuka. Of course, it'd be a sight easier if there weren't the coral to contend with.
Oh, greetings. Might I help you with something? Well, I will not. No? Perhaps just, please, take good care of it. I have already given... Thank you, traveler.
Hazanui demanded additional cannons. We must have... You're making a mess of my schematics!
Stay out of the way. Attack! Hold them off while I tell the others! There's no time! I have to warn the engineers!
That's not very helpful.
I thought we were friends.
Mode Ixie Honor. See that?
Relish. Charge.
I'm told you were instrumental in our stand against the Druids. Well done. The Druids have harried us from the moment we made landfall. For a bunch of pencil-twiddling engineers, you mean? Several days ago, I dispatched a small force to quell them, but I've heard nothing of them since. To be frank, I suspect they were killed. And I no longer have enough people to repel another attack. We Rowathians are tougher than most, but we're engineers all the same. We weren't trained to fight. Given your impressive showing in our hour of need, I'd hoped I might impose on you with a request for aid. Go to the bog where I sent my people. You'll find the Druids' leaders there, no doubt. Kill them. Should you do so, the Royal Deadfire Company would stand in your debt, and I would be immensely grateful.
Does it ever trouble you, being so far removed from the rest of your order?
You gonna call me heretical too?
Of course not. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
What can I do for you? Put your eyes on these.
I didn't mean to jump on you. I'm just...
All the wonders of the sea and more
Protect the bog.
I'm all for the path of least resistance, and that's going around.
This is futile!
I'll handle this. Indeed. No! I'll take care of this.
Looks like trouble.
Onward!
Right between the eyes.
That's not very helpful.
Lava beyond seek.
Hey, watch it with that.
That
That's
dog
it.
won't hunt.
Lava beyond seek.
I'll handle this.
Your every step fouls the ground. Why do you pollute this sacred place? The Rawatayan invaders trespassed upon our sacred ground and ignored our overtures. The fault for this conflict lies not with us.
Why should we believe you are any different? Eloquent though your words may be, they will build no peace between us and the invaders. They or we must leave this island, and we shall not be moved. Leave this place, Watcher, and do not return lest you wish to meet an early end.
The trespassers' blood will feed the trees!
No doubt the druids plot their next attack even as we speak. Excellent. You are as dependable as I've been told to expect. Now we can begin logging in earnest. Regarding your reward, we seized a cache of weapons from a gang of pirates we caught sniffing about Sayuka. Of course, we only use regulation weaponry here, so I'd appreciate it if you'd take these off my hands before one of my engineers does something foolish with them. You found me with a rare spare moment.
God darn it!
candles keep burning. You hear that? Whispers in the darkness. Whispers from the grave. Ishi, you're shivering.
If you've seen what you need to see, Watcher, I'd like to fulfill my duty and reap this soul. Will you allow it?
I'll take care of this. Looks like trouble.
Ready to brawl? Move. Ixi on!
This is futile!
Let's see what we found. I'll take this. I'll take care of this. What's this?
By decree of the Queen that was and the will of the Steel Garrote, you will meet justice. Kneel, Oswald, and be tried for your crimes.
Wait! I can pay you. I can make you all rich. Just let me go.
Your bribes fall on deaf ears,
Would you say
Oathbreaker.
this is gonna
We
be a
seek only
trial
to
by fire?
You intrude on the deliberations of the Court of Woodica, outsider. Choose your next actions carefully. lest the queen that was turn her gaze to you as well.
Oh, thank the gods, please! Get me out of here, they're mad! They're all mad! They mean to put me on trial for oath-breaking of all things. They say I betrayed the Idiran Empire, but I haven't been back there in over 100 years.
Be silent, or I will make you so. State your purpose now, or die with him. Explain. Ah, the Watcher of Cadnua graces our presence. Your deeds are well known to this court. Those that attempt to lie to me find I am not easily fooled. Tell me, Watcher, how many of these souls do you claim were innocent? Even should you speak truthfully, you must see the wisdom of these proceedings. Imagine the greater good achieved by dispensing the reckoning this filth deserves. Would you prefer these monsters walk free at the expense of the truly innocent?
And who holds them accountable for serving the greater good? Who ensures they do not become the same as those they hunt? Theos also believed he was an authority unto himself, and he wielded that authority to the detriment of many, many people.
You have no authority in the court of Woodica. Only the queen that was holds sway here. I pray your soul learns from your mistakes on its next turn about the wheel.
I owe you a debt too large to repay, stranger. How did you ever find me all the way out here? Did Inalis send you? That tenacious little wretch. I owe her my thanks. And a drink. Several drinks. And a fair bit of money, too. Those steel garrote zealots have been after me for decades. Good riddance. Ah, yes. Yes, indeed. Yes. Unfortunate business mishap. You know how it is, I'm sure.
I know I ought to be feeling charitable, but I mostly just want to wring his neck.
You did risk life and limb for me, it's true. And make no mistake, I am grateful. Really, really grateful. Believe me. Well, that's not entirely true, is it? I have this old ring. It's the last possession of any value I own. Here, take it for your trouble. You have a ship, don't you? Of course you do. How else would you have gotten to this benighted island? Let me join your crew. It's no secret I'm an old man. Now, I might not be able to hoist a mainsail any longer, but I've picked up a thing or two about navigation in my decades of traveling. And I don't care much for coin, I can tell you that. An extra ration of rum here and there, and I'll be perfectly contented. Thank you, my friend. I owe you a debt twice over.
Let's see what we found.
We got trouble, folks. Mo. Still got it.
No! Fall back.
Mo. Ixie on it.
Control yourself!
Still got it. Mo. Ixie on it.
there are strange things out there.
You cannot think it is really one of the gods.
No, but a weapon perhaps.
Merla, I hope not.
These Dawn Stars drive me mad. Every
We're
morning
back.
the same hymns.
Wonder if Wangleth's still in a mood.
Race you to the coral. No contest.
Faster, you lot.
What?
Let's
Just
get
because
off
you
this
have
rock.
webbed fingers and I can't swim? You are a strange man. How are we supposed to fight a giant?
We don't. We run.
Where? There is water on all sides.
And then run.
Been a while, Twaha. You're looking healthy.
Don't say my name. Is he still here?
You saw that too, right?
Well, I knew it.
Here's your shadow. I'll string him up by his thumbs before he lays a hand on you.
Well, he's obviously not one of ours. Unless Atsura sent someone to monitor me. Must be working for the...
Not everyone in the Deadfire lays out the welcome mat for Rawatai. That shouldn't be any surprise. Twaha, I'm getting you out of this. We've pulled each other out of worse snags.
Easy to say when it's in the past. This stalker is relentless, and he is always watching. He's Juana, average height, and I've caught him scribbling on a sheaf of notes. Like any good tale, he's indistinguishable from anyone else wandering around Port Marge. Probably why they picked him for the job.
Sit tight and I'll get this sorted out. Whatever happens, he won't bother you again. Just try not casual.
I will stand perfectly still and fill my heart with the words of our national anthem.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
I'm lucky to have met you, friend. You're a real good soul.
What say, you need something? That goes for you or your fetching friend. That's close enough. How did you know about? You must have me mistaken for someone else. This is not a name which I know. Who are you? Do not waste your lies. I was never here. Twaha is not a name I have heard before.
Is he dead? Or must I handle everything myself? Is this so?
We took care of it, just like I said we would.
Everything seems to be in order. I'll see to it that these are addressed in good time.
We should be going. It's been an absolute delight.
That's enough of that, soldier. Atsura will know your performance was adequate. And you, Watcher, Rauatai thanks you for your service.
I need to check in with Atsura. Mind if we take a detour to the Brass Citadel? Appreciate it. Atsura probably wants to make sure I'm not wasting too many resources on his little errand. Nothing to worry about.
I can tell that something's on your mind, and I owe you an explanation. Twaha is eccentric, I know. Even in the Navy, I never knew what to make of her. You might be asking yourself why one of the tribals would be stalking her, and if that has anything to do with our little mission. Atsura is doing important work in the Deadfire. He's bringing peace, order, bounty. Not everyone sees it that way, so he has to keep his intentions quiet. I know the secrecy doesn't look good, but I can promise you that this is for a better Deadfire. Probably not. Leave it to the Huana to distrust a lone Rauataian who knows her business. Doesn't surprise me that they'd want to keep an eye on outsider business, or get in the way of it. Yes, of course there is, and plenty else besides. You think Atsura tells me everything? Whatever he has planned for the Deadfire, I'm only a small part of it. But I still need to protect my part. If I pass information from one place to the next, does that make me a spy? I suppose it depends on what side of the fence you're on. For what it's worth, you're doing a great thing for the Deadfire. You'll see that someday.